And then you have this fantasy storybook narrative that you live in and avoid true self-expression. So I hope you see how these can be harmful. Fantasy bonds, so you feel close in your fantasy, but it's not true intimacy. It feels like intimacy, but it's not true intimacy, and it gets in the way of real intimacy. It avoids the components of true intimacy: vulnerability, emotional honesty. And so after a while, the relationship, you just have your fantasy where you feel close, but in reality, there's this emptiness. It's superficial. It's stagnant. You can't express yourself. You're merging with this other person. You're becoming what they want, what you feel you have to be to feel close, but you're not authentic. And so what you're beginning to realize is your fantasy is safer than reality. And so in your fantasy, you're a certain way, but in reality, you have to suppress who you really are. You can't voice your needs, your disappointments. And then what you're really doing is just perpetuating your insecure attachment issues from childhood. So you're going into fantasy to create senses of attachment, but you're not getting healthy in learning how to securely attach. You're just perpetuating insecure attachment in your life. And so all of it is basically preventing healthy relationships. You're not going to grow in intimacy, true intimacy. You're not going to grow in trust. You're not going to grow in learning to meet each other's needs and learning how to connect in healthy ways. So you're enabling harmful dynamics and just escaping to a fantasy. And that is so sad. And so fantasy bonds, they feel safer than a real relationship. They actually kind of act like they shield you from the risks of a real relationship. So that's why people are attracted to it. But it prevents authentic love, intimacy, and self-knowledge. It leads to greater loneliness. It leads to unhealthy dynamics that make you sicker over time. And it basically, the wounds don't heal. So what do we do to heal from fantasy bonding and limerence? Develop awareness. And that's why I do this talk, so you can begin to realize, wow, I've got some of this in my life where I've created fantasy bonds. Work with a therapist. Get in a program like our LIFT program where you can start to deal with your attachment issues and your trauma issues. That's where you got to begin. There's not a magic fix. You got to learn to connect with yourself. You got to learn to connect with others in non-romantic ways. Then you gradually learn how to have healthy intimacy that then can grow into romantic relationships. That takes time. That takes a lot of work. That takes dealing with the trauma, with the shame, with the attachment wounds. You need help to do that. And so part of all of that is you're building authentic relationships with safe people where you can learn to attach and be honest and vulnerable and authentic and learn to communicate your needs and get needs met and be respected as an equal.